My name is Leo Peters.
Alfredo Lopez.
Martin Rodriguez.
Blair Anderson. Hey, I'm Blair Anderson. I'm from Naramata, British Columbia, Canada. So originally I was born in Vancouver. I ended up moving to Naramata, which is a smaller town, kind of 3 hours outside of Vancouver. When I lived in Vancouver, I was fairly young, so I lived there till I was about 10.
Previously, I got this job in April 2014, and they said, you need a team by August. And he expressed interest. He was a really smart kid, expressed interest and wanted to play. I FaceTimed him and his parents because he was talking about he wanted to go away for school. And when I did that, they said, we really like you as a coach and we think it could be good for him to get away. I'm like, okay, and didn't really think anything of it. And then he just committed out of nowhere and was like, yeah, I'm gonna come to Loras. And I said, okay, you've never visited. And he's like, oh, it'll be fine, it'll be great.
And the biggest thing for me, especially as a foreign student, was I wanted to go somewhere different for school. And I've kind of been up in Canada my whole life, and I wanted to really broaden my horizons in a way, see somewhere different. And for me especially, it was going somewhere where I wasn't very familiar with. So that was kind of my goal. I got the opportunity to play volleyball down here too on the inaugural season, so that was a huge draw for me actually, was coming down here for ball.
Anderson saves it for the Duhawks.
His first day on campus, which was right before MOI started, was the first time he'd ever been here. It was pretty crazy because it worked out really well for us, but it was very random.
The toughest part for me about Dubuque, honestly, moving here was probably just the distance for me. Family is a huge part of my life because I've been around them obviously my whole life. Their push for me to go to school in the States was a huge change for me obviously because I'd been living there my whole life and I'd basically been around my parents and my sister for my whole life. So the push to come here was fairly tough for them, and it was tough for me also because I wouldn't be around them every day. I wouldn't be able to go up and talk with my parents every day about what's going on. So I think their willingness to push me here was huge on their part and on my part. It was a commitment on both our parts. So obviously, it poses a difficulty sometimes, but I think in the long run it's going to be worth the distance.
I'm originally from Minnesota, Andover, Minnesota, and I lived overseas in Malaysia for most of my life, 15 years. Once I graduated from Malaysia, my goal was to go back to the States for education, and looking around for universities around Minnesota. My parents wanted me to be able to visit them during winter break and everything, and I thought that Iowa was the perfect pick for that. It had men's volleyball, unlike any other state school or private school in Minnesota, so I just chose to go to Iowa, to Loras.
Leo's a character. Leo was an interesting one. He was back over Christmas break, and he came back with his dad, and when he came, they just came for a day on the trip, and all I remember is, geez, this dude's big. And he was like 160 pounds soaking wet, 6'7", 160 pounds soaking wet, and I'm like, wow, is this kid, first of all, cut out for the winners, and two, can he play volleyball? And then I saw a film of him and I was like, okay, this kid has athletic ability. I think I can work with 6'7".
I like Loras. The size is pretty familiar to the size school I had back in Malaysia. I went to a small private school in Malaysia too, and Loras is the same size roughly, so I feel like I'm pretty comfortable going here.
Leo is probably one of the most unique people I've ever met anywhere. He's probably the guy who can get the most laughs on the team the easiest. He has this presence about him that's really easygoing, and he's super easy to talk to, but he's got this, this just wit about him that makes him so different from everyone else on the team.
I'm from Las Vegas, but I was born in Mexico.
How long did you live in Mexico?
I lived for 17 years. I came because of volleyball program they have.
I have a lot of Vegas kids previously, so you know the Vegas connection just kind of happens. People know of other people who play in Vegas, and they let me know, and so that kind of happened because of those kids mentioning him to me, and then knowing his club director, and saying, "This kid, you got to look at him. He's unreal athletic, and it's kind of my type."
Amazing volleyball player, amazing athlete in general, as he's shown, and I think overall his dedication to sport is just amazing. You know, what he brings to the court is the love for the game. You know, he's in the gym all the time. He's so willing to dedicate his time to the game, and his dedication just blows me away at times.
I miss my family and the city, of course. It's kind of hard not seeing your family often, like every day. Your friends, your best friends, the ones that you always hang out with. And of course the city, I think it's like way different, and that's why I miss home.
I came to Loras like to have a new experience and actually study kinesiology, because back home they don't give kinesiology.
I saw him online through recruiting service, and I remember the first play of his recruiting film, he goes up and just bounces a ball. And I was like, oh, he's only 5'8"? Okay, he plays like he's 6'2". So reached out to him on a whim, and it just kind of happened. He came here sight unseen and just committed and came.
I think my favorite part about Loras would be like the people, how they treat you, how they always say hi when they get passed by you, and how they like are always welcome for you to be a friend.
Lopez Rodriguez.
He is my best friend. I have a lot of respect for him. He's a really good volleyball player, and he's funny. He's really funny, so.
We came here, I didn't know anything about him, and Loras built like a brotherhood. I'm always gonna be there for him, and he's gonna be there for me. We were friends. I think now we're family.
I love him to death. It's just, we're brothers. We're like brothers.
We're family, and everybody knows everybody. We have Duhawks supporting Duhawks, which everybody's heard over and over again, but it's true, we live it. And so I think that's what, you know, when they come here, they're not going to be alone, they're not going to be, they have support, and regardless of what part of their life they need support, that's what we're here for. I think they're important just because it's always good to meet different people. Seeing them grow is just how they acclimate to Loras College and acclimate to other people, and vice versa. I think it's good for our student athletes to, you know, back and forth. I want them to leave here a better person. You know, they come in here and they learn from athletics. And I think athletics is valuable in that you learn teamwork and leadership, and you know, there's so many valuable things that you learn from being a student athlete. Go Duhawks.
Go Duhawks.
Go Duhawks.
LA Duhawk.
Vamos Duhawks.
Vamos, Duhawk.